Hello, this is Julia C. And today's date is December the 29th, 2018. And today is Saturday. And it is approximately 7:30 p.m. in Atlanta, Georgia. And hello to you all, and how are you? And I hope everybody is doing perfectly fine and having a great new year. Um, let's see here. The topic today is gonna be World War III and the countries most likely to go to war with each other within the next 5 years. And a friend of mine, he also stated he wanted me to do a session um, in reference to World War III. So we were thinking of topics, and he said, "Hey, do that one, World War III." All right. So let's see here. I had another session on World War III, but I was having technical difficulties. So I'm coming back with it into and to correct the errors that I had in the other session. It didn't go well, so I'm doing it over. Unfortunately, I never do sessions over. I just do them the way they are, just natural. All right, World War III, and the countries most likely to go to war with each other in the next 5 years. And I will read and I will examine and I will analyze. But let's go here. Let's see here. All right, my phone is so busy today. Oh, for whatever reason. All right, let's read. I don't want to read much right now. I don't feel like I'm doing too much reading, and the details in reference to World War III. So I'm going to read the basics, and then I will examine, and then, I will, analyze and give you my perception of what I see there, um, and what I think is going really goes on, is really going on. So, World War III. All right. All right. World War III is among the biggest geopolitical concerns for the general public, with international relations between several countries approaching breaking point. Which countries could go to war in the next 5 years? All right. They have a list here of the countries that could go to war in the next 5 years. So let's see who they are talking about. All right, we have not saying that we will go to war, but could if they don't resolve the conflicts of the political matter. All right, Russia versus Ukraine. Okay, they are at it. All right. All right, versus Saudi Arabia versus Iran. All right, Pakistan versus India. All right, the USA versus China. Let's see if they have more here. No, those are the five countries. That is okay. That's one, two, three, four. Okay, where's five? Okay. All right. Unfortunately, I don't see. I think I only see. Okay, let's read on here. Um. We will discuss Israel and Iran and the USA and versus China. So we will discuss those two because we have a lot of dealings with those people, especially Israel. The United States has a lot of connection with Israel. So we will do, we will discuss those. Um, all right. All right. We also do a lot of business with Saudi as well, in regards to the oil. But we're gonna stick here with the U.S. versus China, and Israel versus Iran. So let me get down here to the U.S. versus China. I'll let you hear what they have to say. All right. It says Donald Trump elections as U.S. president has seen relation with China in a downward spiral. The president had once claimed global warming was a Chinese conspiracy and has since engaged in a bitter trade war with the country. President Trump has set tariff levels of $1.57 billion dollars on Chinese imports, and President Xi Jinping has responded in kind. The two are yet to descend into full scale conflict, but tensions are liable to increase further. Both are currently attending the G20 summit in Argentina, where relations between them could fall or fly. All right. It says Donald Trump election as U.S. president has seen relations with China in a downward spiral. So I guess the U.S. versus China, um, they do a lot of trade with us. What I noticed about China, they they have been doing a lot of business with the U.S. for quite some time, and and they are very they bid at the lowest, and they are cheaper. I'm just speaking for people that don't know the political terms, so I'm going to speak on our level there. So they bid at the lowest, and they're convenient, and they're always there, and they're willing to make sacrifices to make business boom for them in America. And like I said, they are convenient. And what's I have to say here? Well, what has happened, it looked like they are saying, is that they say that we owe them money. The U.S. owe them money, and because we have borrowed or something, or some. Yeah, I'm just using that we have borrowed from them. They claim, and and that we owe them. So what is happening is that I won't say they became spoiled because they have been doing a lot of trades on transportation and things like that between them and the U.S. They have, a lot of connection here. And once that happens, once they develop such a long-term friendship with, you know, between the U.S. and them, they have gotten comfortable. And then when it's time to say, hey, I want to deal with something of better quality, even though it's more, hey, it may cost us, but we want quality. China has, you let them do business. Now you've gotten to a point where you don't need them any longer, and it has raised, red flags and sirens going off, because even if they're, bidding at the lowest, and you don't want to have anything to do with them, then they have been used to you giving them and letting them have their way, and now you want to cut them loose and go somewhere else and do business, for example, with Germany or with Saudi. You want some quality, and you don't want to deal with them anymore. So hey, they're desperate. This is where they make their money. This is how they make their money off the U.S., off poor people especially. And all of a sudden you say we want to better, we're sick of you. And then, hey, they say, no, you owe us, you know. But America's a great country to do business, to go to school, to achieve your goals here. And they have been spoiled. And now you want to say no. We don't want to deal. I'm talking to the general public, and I'm speaking frankly to you because some of you don't understand the political terms. So I don't want to speak out of you know out of your league. So I'm just speaking frank. So what I'm saying is that hey, America don't want to deal with you no more. So you popping up with all these excuses. Same thing go with South Korea. You come up with all this stuff. Hey, you better do what I say. No, it doesn't work like that. So, anyways, so on and so forth. The farming in America as well, the farming, the produces and things like that. We have a lot of connection there with China, especially with the chicken, stuff like that. The food and the clothes, and the cosmetics and things like that. So, yeah, they have a long history with the United States. China and the United States are very well connected, and they just about know the way the United States think and the way they reason. So you can't say all of a sudden say no, you know, you gotta work around that to keep down conflict. So here, okay, all right. Let's see here. I'm gonna go to Israel versus Iran. Now Israel has a lot of connection. That's top notch for America. Um, Everything that goes on in office, in political office, in the White House, from what I research and analyze, and my perception is whatever goes on there goes through Israel officials. So it has to be read through them as well. Most of it, of course. And yeah, so we have a lot of ties with Israel. Now, All right. And speaking of global warming, I don't want to jump off the subject of World War III, the reason for a possibility of being a World War III. But another thing with global warming, I heard people say, and it was brought to my attention because it crossed my mind as well, it was brought to my attention, and it, it someone said, and I thought they were reading my mind, and they said global warming is a way to keep poor people down. It's killing people. They only put this stuff is only in certain areas. And the type of global warming now, it is killing off, people. It's not helping. It's keeping people down. So depending on where you live, you could get some of that effect from global warming. All right. So what it looks like, they're saying that the USA has caught China doing some backstabbing, blackballing stuff. Um, they don't want to deal with them any longer, and they're trying to, be polite and professional about pushing them away. Not 100% getting them up, but trying to make a better selection to do business. Choose someone else who has a better quality to do business with, someone you can trust and not cheating you. So here, let's go here. And like I said, China has some very close connection as far as business and things like that with the US. So hold on here. Let's read Israel versus Iran. All right. All right. I gotta skip it. Here it is. Israel versus Iran. Israel and Iran are among other sets of countries currently locked in a bitter proxy conflict against one another. Iran and Israel first served diplomatic and commercial ties following Iran's 1979 revolution without any outward hostility. However, Iran has since supplied both political and military support to pro-Palestinian group Hamas, which is committed to the destruction of Israel by jihad. They also support militant organizations in much the same way, which is also committed to ending Israeli influence. Allegedly, Israel has also supported the people of Iran, which hopes to overthrow Israel leadership and place its own figures in power. All right, did you hear that? It says here that allegedly Israel has also supported the people of Iran, which hopes to overthrow Israel's leadership and place its own figures in power. So the same thing with the US. So what are they saying here? What are the possible, why is there a possibility of a World War III with these five countries? What does it all boil down to? Are they saying, hey, we don't want this particular breed in office, in our office? We don't, the US as well. What is the border wall really going up for? What is the fuss with the wall? Are you trying to, keep these politics, or people who are claiming Mexican sex, or you trying to keep those politics from being in higher, keep them from being president in the presidency in the White House? That goes for Israel as well. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to keep certain breeds out of your office? Um, um, I mean, hey, we gotta really look at it. Some things I don't want to look at either, but the fact still remains, as plain as day, is that what are you saying? Um, you say China, you're versing these people. Um, are these the main people you don't want in your office as president here? You don't. I mean, what is it really? What's the problem? What is what does this all boil down to? At the end of the day, and hey, I don't blame you for feeling that way. Hey, you don't want a particular breed or person in office, even if they're Americanized, or they still have their old values and traditions that they carry with them, or you can't trust them because you feel they still carry their tradition and their values from their country here, and they may bring it into the White House. Same thing with the Israelis. Do you feel they may bring it into your ministry, your office? So what I'm saying is here, what is the real deal between all this animosity and trying to set walls between one another? And China, China, they feel like you owe them something. What are you saying? You owe them what are they saying to you? Do you owe them a spot in the White House as presidency? You know. And if so, do you trust that particular individual? You don't want their standards and their belief in drag into the White House and go out into the field, into this country, and reflect. Same thing with Israel. Same thing with the other ones that I didn't bring up. I'm not discussing. Same thing here. Is there fear? And is there a probable cause for this fear? This fear that you are having. So anyway, let me read some more here. We're speaking about a possibility of a World War III if these people don't resolve the matter in a proper manner. And Trump, I think Trump is a very dear, good negotiator. I personally, I don't want to start a fire here, but personally, so far we're gonna see how far he goes right now. But it looks like he's outdoing Barack Obama in regards to avoiding conflict and handling things without killing somebody or ordering people to go and murder someone and things like that. So far, Trump looks pretty moral and civilized because he's a great negotiator. He's not fussing and bickering with anyone or trying to kill people. So I don't think he's as angry as we think he are. So let's go on here. To me, I'm not saying I don't like Barack, but the Osama bin Laden situation, I figured, hey, you couldn't just arrest the guy? Really? Your hands are dirty. Who wants to be married to someone like Barack Obama? His hands is dirty. First Negro president, and you go killing somebody, or you order it, you just as guilty as the militants. So far, Donald Trump is hey, I'm not rich, but I have to give credit where it's due. So far, he doesn't look like an angry person to me. He's a good negotiator so far. So my point I'm trying to say is that America know that they don't want to be embarrassed. So hey, so far Trump is arrogant, true enough. Hey, don't get it twisted. I think he's an arrogant butthole, you know, on things like that. But when he's doing business, he's great at negotiating. So let me see here. And Barack, it really disappointed me on things like that. I think they could have handled that in a that Osama bin Laden, you know, he and in another better than that. You know, he's a murderer. I I would have divorced him immediately. Your hands are dirty, and then to top it off, you know, you're you're a Negro, and then you have a tie around your neck, things like that. That makes it even worse. You're a cutthroat. You know, you're not better than the rest of them. You're dirty as well. You know, I have nothing to say to you. And Michelle Obama, she must be desperate or something, because I would have left him immediately. You know, you're married to a killer. You know that could have been avoided and handled, and it wasn't that serious. Trust me. You know, that's embarrassing, and it embarrasses me. So, you know, but Trump, hey, I don't care for the guy either, but I noticed when he's sitting in a chair, he's trying to cut out the conflict, even with the Saudi prince. You know, hey, I don't care what people say. I have my opinion too. There's no evidence. There's nobody. You know, nobody. You know, we can only assume and things like that, and go from what the media tells us and poor people. You know, I want us to believe what they say. I have my own instincts. I haven't seen a body with Jamal. I haven't seen I haven't seen a body with Jamal, and they have no evidence. It's only he said, she said. He said, she said. You know, nobody really knows. You know, but them. Um, and hey, who knows where Jamal really could be? You know, over the what they could have done with him. They could have let him out, escape through the walls. Put him in the basket, let him down through the wall and escape. Who knows where he is? I'm not saying that he's not dead, and I'm not saying that he's alive either. But who knows where the guy is? You know, really. You know, hey, and you blame everything on Saudi because they have it. You know, it looked like they everything. Every time I turn around, there's something negative about the Saudi Arabia. People have nothing positive to say about a billionaire. You know, people have nothing to say about a bunch good to say in America about a bunch of billionaires. But you want to say something about good about a millionaire who's stealing from poor people, stealing their identity, you know, on things like sacrificing people here for a couple of dollars, and we are millionaires here. I don't have, you know, hey, I don't, you know, I'm American, and like I say, hey, when I see something that don't look right to me, you know, hey, it stands out. Something just not right. You know, hey, I'm not saying that Salmon is a good boy. You know, maybe the senior citizens want their chair back. Maybe American seniors want him to get out of the chair and put somebody of age that has long history there and put him in the chair. Maybe they want him out of the chair and they're just blackballing him, trying to. I don't know. Well, that's just what I'm feeling. So, and the same thing with Israel, you know. I mean, Israel, I've toured Israel in and out, Tel Aviv, very beautiful, laid back place. I didn't realize all that water was right there and stuff like that. Um, um, yeah. So you really don't want the wrong person to get a hold of your country. So, anyways, um, what time is it? Oh Lord. Okay. All right. World War III. Countries most likely to go to war with each other in the next 5 years. All right. And that was our topic today. And I am Julia C. And I hope to see you again in one of my sessions. And thank you.